It's difficult to appreciate what NCD is all about without fully understanding what we mean by a principle-oriented approach to church development. A principle-oriented approach fulfills the following 4 criteria. 1. Principles are universally valid. They don't apply only to certain situations or specific circumstances. They apply to all denominations, to all church models, to all devotional styles, and to all cultures. 2. Principles must be proven. Until we have clear empirical proof, we may be dealing with an interesting concept that is worth consideration, but we shouldn't speak about a principle. There is only one way to find out whether or not a specific feature is a universal principle. Research on a universal, which is a worldwide, scale. 3. Principles always deal with what is essential, never with secondary aspects of the Christian life. Therefore, we can expect to find the principles that influence our lives also described in the Bible, even if the terminology may differ. 4. Principles always have to be individualized. They never tell you exactly what to do. Rather, they give you criteria that enable you to discover what should be done in a given situation. There are different principles of health that have been identified by our research. However, all of these principles have one common denominator. Every single one is targeted at releasing all by itself growth. In NCD, our task is not to make the church grow, but to reduce human-made hindrances to growth. Then the church can flourish all by itself. In order to understand this principle, it's helpful to have a look at this picture. It shows you a cart with 4 square wheels, transporting a multitude of wonderfully round and extremely functional wheels. The cart is being pushed and pulled by 2 people who are demonstrating great dedication, yet must feel that their enterprise is going extremely slow and is proving to be quite frustrating. This parable illustrates something essential. Everything that we need to see the church grow has already been provided by God. The problem is that we don't make proper use of it. Instead of using the tools that God has given us, we try to push and pull the church in our own strength. What is a healthy alternative to this approach? In NCD, we distinguish 6 growth forces: interdependence, multiplication, energy transformation, sustainability, symbiosis, and fruitfulness. If you study these growth forces more carefully, you will discover that every single one is targeted at releasing all by itself growth. The same can be observed when you study what we call the 8 quality characteristics of growing churches: empowering leadership, gift-based ministry, passionate spirituality, effective structures, inspiring worship service, holistic small groups, need-oriented evangelism, loving relationships. Each of these quality characteristics consists of an adjective, column A, and a noun, column B. In all of the 8 areas, the adjective is the decisive factor. Each of them is targeted at releasing all by itself growth. It can be demonstrated that every church model will only be successful to the degree that it applies, whether consciously or unconsciously, those principles that we have chosen to call natural church development. This discovery is one of the most revealing aspects of our research in 40,000 churches. Principles apply regardless of your theological bent, your philosophy of ministry, or your favorite church model. They apply to your personal life and to the life of your church. And they even apply if you decide not to utilize them.